In today's hyper-connected world, where endless distractions and noise bombard us with information, our minds are constantly pulled between past regrets and future anxieties. It's easy to forget the power of living fully in the present moment. Eckhart Tolle's teachings in The Power of Now remind us that the key to true peace and inner transformation lies in embracing the present moment. As Tolle writes, "Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have." This focus on the present, while seemingly simple, has profound implications for our emotional and mental well-being. We are often trapped in what Tolle describes as time, meaning we are either dwelling on what has already passed or worrying about what is yet to come. Yet neither of these is real, only the now exists. The challenge for most of us is how to consistently align ourselves with this truth, especially when modern life is filled with distractions. Embracing the ancient practice of monk mode can help us stay grounded in the present moment and remove ourselves from the mental clutter and other influences that can derail us. It paves the door for greater self-awareness, tranquility, and mindfulness, which in turn enable us to experience the now moment to its fullest. Monk mode is a methodical way to silence the world and reconnect with one's inner self, drawing inspiration from the austere lifestyle of monks. In the past, monks would often isolate themselves in order to focus on being fully present in each moment. For the sake of their spiritual development and enlightenment, they would abandon all earthly pursuits. Although you are not obligated to enter a monastery in order to engage modern monk mode, it nevertheless promotes the same deliberate concentration on mindfulness and seclusion. Following Tolle's teachings, this practice can help one let go of their ego, make room for quiet, and cultivate the inner awareness that is essential for fully embracing the here and now. Both Tolle endorses teachings and the monk mode method center on the idea of detaching from the mind's constant chatter. To be identified with your mind is to be trapped in time, according to Tolle. Unnecessary suffering, such as worry, anxiety, and discontent, is perpetuated when the mind relentlessly distracts us from the here and now. Naturally, the mind isn't content and is constantly trying to escape into a world other than the present moment. The discipline to recognize when our minds wander and bring them back to the here and now can be ours through practicing the tenets of monk mode. As we learn to let go of the thought patterns that used to control our lives, this practice leads to a profound feeling of inner peace, clarity, and spiritual development when done regularly. The ego is also calmed by entering monk mode, in addition to external distractions. Discord, comparisons, and an insatiable need for approval are the food for the ego. Tolle points out that the ego is an illusion. Our internal critic is the part of ourselves that is always trying to prove itself, looking for validation from others, and evaluating our value in relation to theirs. The ego takes advantage of our weaknesses and helps us believe that we are unique and disconnected from everything around us, including the divine, nature, and other people. The ego is the root cause of much of our dissatisfaction. Since our egos are constantly fixated on our shortcomings and our fears of loss, it is this false identity that prevents us from living in the now to its fullest. But in monk mode, we start to see how the ego controls our feelings and ideas. The illusion begins to emerge for what it really is, a delusion. A deep feeling of freedom is ours when we cease associating with the ego, as Tolle explains. We don't get rid of ego entirely, but we do learn to live in defiance of it. We step back and examine the ego's habits without becoming caught up in them. The practice of mindfulness, which opens the door to presence, is central to this approach. Meditation, deep breathing, or even just paying attention to your immediate environment are all great ways to practice mindfulness every day. The mind, as Tolle stresses, can be a powerful tool when utilized correctly, but when used improperly, it can do significant damage. By practicing non-judgmental observation of our ideas, we might emerge from the mental quagmire as objective observers rather than active participants. In the long run, this easy method makes room for genuine self-awareness and tranquility. The goal of practicing mindfulness is not to alter or manage one's thoughts, but rather to become more self-aware of them. Importantly, this self-awareness separates our authentic selves from the mental clutter. As we make this a habit, we discover that we can handle stressful situations much better and feel more stable when we're calm. Isolation is also a key component of monk mode. Intentionally setting aside time alone allows us to disconnect from the outside world and reconnect with our true selves. Modern society, which puts a premium on constant communication and social interaction, tends to misunderstand those who prefer solitude. True intelligence, though, works invisibly, as Tolle puts it. Creativity and problem-solving solutions are discovered in moments of stillness. When we're alone with ourselves, we may quiet our racing thoughts, tune into our gut feelings, and access a wisdom that goes beyond our rational intellect. In the midst of all the noise and confusion, this quiet can be a place of profound spiritual growth. Being alone doesn't imply being lonely or isolated. Rather, it's an opportunity to tune into your inner voice and rediscover the meaning of life that gets lost in the din of daily activities. Having covered the theory behind monk mode, let's have a look at some practical ways you might incorporate it into your life. A digital detox should be initiated first. One of the most pervasive ways that technology has made our lives less meaningful is by diverting our attention away from the here and now. It's not only social media and mindless scrolling that can keep us hooked. Even checking email and reading news updates can. To combat this, try devoting some time each day to fully disconnecting from all electronic devices, including phones, social media, and email. The deliberate withdrawal from electronic devices will pave the way for more present-moment awareness. You can train your mind to concentrate on what's important, the here and now, when you disconnect from the never-ending stream of data. The second actionable step is to make mindfulness a part of your everyday routine. Being totally present as you eat, walk, or breathe is all it takes to practice mindfulness. It doesn't even require hours of meditation. Keep your awareness on the here and now by taking note of your environment, noticing when your thoughts wander, and then gently refocusing your attention. Your capacity to remain rooted in the here and now is enhanced with each mindfulness practice. The great thing about mindfulness is that it's something you can do whenever and wherever you like. You may incorporate mindfulness into your everyday life without needing to set aside specific times for it. Meditation and other forms of mindfulness teach your brain to live in the present now, which has the dual benefit of lowering stress levels and raising happiness levels. Planning times to be alone is the next practical step. Spending even just a little time alone each day can help you concentrate and clear your mind, whether that's for 15 minutes or an hour. Take stock of your thought patterns, establish some peace in your life, and establish a deeper connection with yourself at this time. Finding inner calm and focus is a byproduct of spending time alone. When you find a peaceful place like this, you can tune into your intuition and find your center. Acclimating to being alone is a process that takes time and effort. This precious time is for recharging, contemplation, and starting over. The last thing to do is to watch your ego. Be mindful of the ego's manifestations and your ideas and deeds as you enter monk mode. Remind yourself gently that you are not your authentic self whenever you find yourself driven by the need to be validated, compared, or controlled. According to Tolle's teachings in The Power of Now, this practice will gradually reduce the power of the ego and bring you closer to being yourself. Being self-aware and consistently working on self-retreat will help you overcome the ego's natural tendency to take center stage. With practice, you'll be able to separate yourself from the ego's demands and center your attention on your authentic self, which is grounded in tranquility and awareness. To sum up, monk mode isn't about being alone. It's about making a deliberate effort to be still, aware, and present. You can learn to live in the now more completely by practicing ego observation, daily mindfulness, scheduled seclusion, and digital detoxes. Nothing ever occurred in the past, everything occurred in the now, according to Tolle. The only thing that matters is what happens right now. Nothing else will ever occur. Accepting this truth will lead you to a more profound state of contentment and satisfaction. If you want relief, it has to start with your mindset. Just one more thing. If you found this content to be meaningful or inspiring, please consider giving it a like and sharing it with someone who might benefit from similar thoughts. Leave a comment saying, "Now," if you understood this message, and subscribe so you can join us on this path of spiritual development. Maybe all it takes to take the next step toward finding inner peace is a click. Continue watching for more impactful teachings. We'll catch up with you in the next video.